Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast, with your hosts, Jack Vincent and Nick Crooks. Oh, and by the way, they're from the north, that's the reason they sound that way.
Hey guys, how are you bloody doing and everything?
Well, yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm managing. We just get the new edition. Look, there she is. Ellie.
I mean, all we can see is a blurry table, and whatever comes on this screen is going to be interesting.
Come here.
Ah, yeah.
Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I mean, your drawing earlier was pretty spot on.
Yeah. I don't like to brag, but I am pretty brilliant at everything I attempt.
I don't like to brag, but I'm just amazing at absolutely everything.
And there is nothing I can't achieve if I put my mind to it.
There you go, kids. That's the philosophy you need.
What you been up to? Anything exciting?
Well, I would try and lie and make out this is really good, but I'm not going to lie. I've been in the pub since 2 o'clock this afternoon, so this could go massively wrong or massively amazing. So
We'll see.
See how I literally got in at 7, and I won't lie. All I've done since then is just remove my jeans. So this is all fun for everyone.
Since 7, and I want to take your jeans off. That is pretty skilled.
Well, I sat in the living room, and one of them things where you sat down and you're literally doing nothing, but you're like, I just can't be bothered to move. And I literally got up, and then I was like, right, let's do some motivation. So this is me. So
You need a hobby other than this, Jack.
I mean, do you not think I put enough effort into this? I thought I was giving you top quality editing and podcast. I mean, to be perfectly honest, as well, my fucking hobby got taken away by a pandemic. Thank you very much. So,
What was your hobby? Being well.
Yeah, being
Visiting
well.
elderly folks, willy-nilly.
Being allowed outside.
Getting on public transport with easy-to-breathe apparatus on your face.
I imagine that's just an aim. That is an aim for your life. Is literally, well, what's your aim for this year? Just being well. Just being well is on top of my list.
Avoiding the plague. Like the plague.
Yeah. But yeah, that's me. What about you guys? Anything crazy and special?
I rescued a whippet.
Oh, like legit rescued, or like you got off from a rescue?
Yeah, I got for a rescue. I mean, I couldn't like.
Oh, I thought like wrestled a bear to get her like that.
Yeah. Matt just walked along the streets and said, "You are treating this dog poorly. She's mine now."
Sorry. Go on. So my girlfriend's trying to sneak in secretly because I've banished her to bed. No.
You really do
Not sorry,
everything. Anything you put your mind to, you really do just do brilliantly, like banishing people and everything.
Like in a way.
There you go. So before we crack right on in, because we normally do forget about this, Nick, do you want to do the honours and introduce our guest for this week?
Of course, I will. You are listening to the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast with your regular host, Nick Crooks and Jack Vincent. And we are welcomed with our guest today is Matt Reid.
Hello.
The brilliant Matt Reid.
I mean, I said hello as if that's my accent. It's really not, is it? I'm foxing you from the beginning.
Giving us the old switcheroo. So Matt, how's lockdown been treating you then? As great as we can expect?
Well, I mean, it's like I've been doing comedy now for 20 years, men and boy. It's my 21st year doing it now, and this is the longest I've ever been without a gig. And I've even had a gig. I did the stand live, and
nice.
It was like, but like still like two months without a gig. I've been climbing the walls. Like I've done online gigs, but they're a bit weird. And I mean, they're just different. They're good still, but they're really good. But I just miss it so much. Like I'm climbing the walls. I've tried everything. I've done video shows. I've try and do like self-filmed sitcoms. I've taken up drawing. I need an outlet, and I need one soon. Or
need something to do.
Yeah, there was animals, and then people are going to go missing in my area.
The two may or may not be connected.
We're like the child catcher from Chitty Bang Bang.
What did you do in lockdown? I made a marionette out of humans and animals.
At least your creativity's showing.
Exactly. A creative outlet, albeit horrendously violent and disgusting.
I'm down for it. A bit of violence never hurt. I'm about saying a bit of violence never hurt anyone, but it definitely did.
I mean, it's quite obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
The clue.
Remember Andy White years ago? He was violence. Someone said violence and alcohol a bad combination. And then what was his joke? He goes, surely violence and anything is a bad combination. He says knitting and violence a bad combination.
Yeah, I mean, them needles can... That's a good weapon there.
I mean, it's literally just a long stabbing implement, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly that. But I can imagine that, though. I mean, I don't want to put like an age on this, but like you've been doing comedy when me and Nick were still in primary school.
Oh, God. Yep. Yeah. How old are you?
I know we're both 28.
28. 28.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So how old were you when you started comedy then? Because in my head, that doesn't add up with how old I'm imagining that you are now.
Well, I'm 40.
Okay. In my head, now that makes sense. Yeah.
I started in 99 when I was coming up 19 now. 19 coming up 20, I think, and just crack on the whole of the noughties. It was great. I love it. I mean, I never wanted to do it. I never got into stand-up for any reason. I fell into it, and it was like the minute I did the first gig, something went in my head and just went, "Oh yeah, this is what you're meant to do." This is your life now. Yeah,
it
was insane. It was genuinely in my head, like because everybody I knew that came to the gig was petrified for us. Like, oh God, what you can do? I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe this. And I was just like, what? Why are you? What do you think this is? Do you think I'll get shot if you're bad? I mean, like, it's not that bad, you know. Like,
I mean, some shows can be like that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I've done Scunthorpe, but I mean, like, if you do it again, like, it's the pressure people think that's on you that's really not. Well, like, if you feel they don't open a scorpion pit or anything like that.
Can you imagine if they did? There'd be a lot more.
There's a lot of comics I'd like to see fall into a scorpion pit. There's one just advertising on the forums at the minute, like, and he wants an. Oh, I'll not make it too obvious who it is, but Christ Almighty, he's a scorpion pit attendee in my mind.
A scorpion pit attendee. How do you describe him? He's one of the scorpion pit attendees.
He's a scorpion pitter. Scorpion pitter. That sounds like really, really poverty-stricken food. You're gonna go. What you having? I'm a scorpion pitter. It's just one scorpion, a bit of lettuce.
just a sting here or there.
Yeah, just gently toast the pitter, obviously. Yeah.
Well, that's sick though. So 20 years and 2 months gap in that you've not given that time. So you definitely have seen some scorpion pit people in your time then.
I've seen some of the worst human beings, and some of the worst human beings have been involved in comedy. But there's been some horrible people, and I mean some people who were being nice who were definitely horrible. But there's I wouldn't change it. Like, there's some incredible people in comedy, absolutely incredible. Some of my best friends are in comedy, and the genuinely just, it's like people like Lee Kyle, for example. Do you know Lee?
Yeah, Lee Kyle.
Yeah, he's one of the, he's a natural comic. He's like he's got funny bones. He needs to do comedy. He needs it. Like, same with me. I've been creating stuff as much as I can and doing cartoons and doing films because I need to do this. Like, it's
yeah.
And then there's people like the snake oil salesmen who love comedy and they know how it works, they know the formula, and they can go on stage and they can smash a room apart with the science of comedy, but there's literally zero soul in it. And you could literally tap out the set like
Yeah.
And like I watch that and I just go, you've got nothing. Like
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not pretending I'm the best comic in the world, like by any stretch. But every show I do is different, and there's not a like. I mean, of course, I use the same jokes a lot, and some of my jokes are older than I don't know your reputations. But some of my jokes, no lie, 10, 15 years old, and they still work, and I'll use them, and I've got no qualms about it. If anyone wants to bitch about that, they can come and suck me hefty balls. But I mean, there's like when I dive into the crowd, I use the old what's your favourite trope as a compare, but which, and to be honest, it leads you onto some fantastic stuff. It really does. But I've tried to get away from it because when I realised I was doing it a lot, I was like, right, okay, you've got to be better than that. So like I started asking weirder and weirder questions, and that's when you get the fun, and that's the essence of a gig, where that gig will never happen again.
Yeah.
If that gig will never happen again, you've done and everyone's enjoyed themselves. Then you've done a great job, in my opinion. Because you can have countless amount of people going, "Oh yeah, he was good. I like this joke, and then to go and see the show again. If you went to the Cardiff Glee, for example, I mean, it's a fucking high standard, the Cardiff Glee. And if you went, and sometimes, like in my opinion, as with any club, I went to the Cardiff Glee once, and the bill, there was 2 acts on that I didn't think were very strong. And it's the definition of insanity. Like doing the same thing 2 nights in a row and expecting a different result. So I went out and I was like, right, okay, mate, and I knew fine well I'd have to pick up after them. So I got the crowd. I had to make sure I got the crowd on my side. So I was like, so I could do anything I want when that person came back. When that person wandered off to the sound of his own footsteps or her footsteps.
Good save.
But
I mean, in all fairness, in today, if you mention a comedian's a male, I'm pretty sure that doesn't narrow it down that much. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So with going through comedy for that amount of time, then, and I think, especially in recent years, there's been a resurgence of you can't do this, you can't do that, and sort of thing. Do you prefer comedy now, or do you prefer it in the early 2000s?
Well, I mean, the money was better, and there was less dickheads back because it's. I preferred it when there wasn't a dirge of careerists, when it was genuine people.
Yeah.
When nobody saw, because ever since Michael McIntyre made all that money and people were filling arenas and stuff, people didn't see this as a viable option, and then people have started using it. They're not very good, and they'll do tours, and they're just using stand up as a go between to get the presenting. And I hear it, and there's some absolutely mediocre people filling theatres, and people are walking out going, because they've seen them on the telly.
Yeah.
And people are going to see them do stand up, going, "Oh, is that stand up? Oh God, I thought it was better than that." And walking out, being disappointed, going, "Oh, well, that'll probably do me for stand up. It's a cinema or something else for me now." And it's because the mediocrity in someone who just wants to do like your TV stuff is terrifying to me. Like, it's not been...
and it damages the circuit as well, because you don't get the same amount of people through the doors.
But on the plus, I mean, I'm not for a second saying every single one of them shite, but there is a certain, and I'd list off. I've got a list of people who I think are dreadful, who are batting well above what their ability range. Of course, I have, but then what I do is I'll look at that. And I'll go, right, okay, I'm not the target audience. It's like me whinging about Billie Eilish. I think Billie Eilish her music's dreadful to me. But
yes.
If I start slagging Billie Eilish off, why? What's the point in that? Because I'm clearly not a target market.
Yeah. Yeah. You make a real good point there, because you're not the person who they're aiming their music, or in this situation comedy at. So for you to go and sing Seven Bells about them, it's no. I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything. It's just a case of your opinion. I'm not saying against half, but you're not their target market. Like, you're not going to give a rave review of the My Little Pony film. Like,
no. Well, actually, it was pretty nuanced, but deep. It was deeper than you thought. But exactly. But I can go and watch. But because I've been in comedy for 20 years, and I've never really been an edgelord, or I've never been a pun master. I've just been myself. Like I've been an exaggerated version of myself on stage. So at the beginning, I tried all the tricks, and then I was in a double act for years, and we did comedy songs. Only once did we change the lyrics to a song. By the way, we weren't that kind of comedy act. We did original song. But we were like, so I've seen, and I've come up for that long, and I've watched people who you think were going to be really good and drop, and who you go, God, they were dread. All right, look, got them on TV show, and again, like you just go, because like Celebrity Juice to me was like the end of television. Like I think that is that people go, oh, I can't believe the Bannon Post like the best. And I was like, I don't know what program you were watching, but
yeah.
It wasn't the best. Like it was dreadful. Like anything. I mean, Lee Francis. But again, I appreciate he's not like. But that was the end of TV. Like panel shows, not for me when that was out. Oh God, I'm gonna get covered in squirty cream. How old are you? Is this get your own back? Is this get your own back? Is this fun house? Why are adults watching screaming celebrities? And the word celebrities. I mean.
Oh, yes. Grasping. You were grasping with that.
If you're off Geordie Shore, you're not a celebrity. You are a trained chimp. You are guided with bananas in the shape of money to do stupid things to make yourself look like an absolute arsehole.
I literally had this conversation of watching MasterChef like 5 minutes before this call started, and to call it Celebrity MasterChef is a grass. You know, you're clutching at straws.
All it's like, what is it, like Strictly Ballroom and all that, and you look at it and you're going, I mean, it's helped a lot of people. I mean, look at, Joel Dommett's huge now, and to be honest,
yeah,
Joel Dommett, he's one of the exceptions to the rules. He's clearly gone to be a presenter. I mean, because he's fucking gorgeous. I mean, like that's where he belongs. He belongs on telly, that man.
That's not what I thought you was gonna say. I thought it was like, he's proper. He's fucking gorgeous.
Well, he is. I mean, I've known Joel for quite a while, and I did the Altitude Comedy Festival with him, and I came downstairs. I was hanging out my arse. I was in my snow gear. I was going up the mountain. I was like this, like hung over, and he'd clearly had the same night as me. We'd all been out. He rolled out of bed into his things, and he was that pretty. He looked as he went, "You all right, Matt?" And I giggled.
Like a little French girl.
He went, "Oh, morning, Matt." I went, but him, that's see, there's an exception, right? He is. I've always watched him and gone, you know what? You're actually a really, really good comedian, and he is. He's a very, very funny lad, and he's very good. He's got tricks, but he uses a lot of tricks, but like his tricks are like very clever, and he's very humble. And the fact he's obviously like, I mean, like he's clearly a very attractive man. And after he's famous and all the girls go, he uses that to his advantage rather than like just mentioning himself. He's just going calm down, and he belittles himself because he knows that's what he has to do. And he's very, very clever. And he's quite rightly so. He's on the telly. I mean, the vehicles he's chosen for the telly is nothing I'd watch.
Yeah,
but I'm like, fair play to him. Fair play to him. You go for it.
He used the masturbation video of himself just to his advantage as well. That's one of the best.
I've used his masturbation video to my advantage. I'm not even gay. I'm not even. I wouldn't even say I'm bi. But
it's just how good looking he is.
It's painful to look at him. It actually hurts. I'm like, no. But
it actually hurts.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, like, and another thing that a lot of people like, and a lot of people I know and trust, like, has got the same taste as me, like Gogglebox. I mean, the day we started watching people watch telly, that was it. That was it for me. I was like, I'm done. I cannot.
See, the Gogglebox thing for me, right? So when we're talking about 5 years ago, when it was like at the height of everything, I used to love Gogglebox. I was obsessed with it as well. For me, it is how bad I was. I used to get my news from Gogglebox because I never watched the news.
What people watching the news to get your own news?
I would watch No word of a lie, right? So I used to work nights, and I used to go. It used to be on a Friday night, and I'd go on shift. So this would be on the Friday or the Saturday night after I'd watched it, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, did you know we've got an election coming up?" And they'd be like, "Jack, we've known for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't news. This is you really behind on the times."
Wow.
And it was someone said once someone said to me, and we're like, "Why has someone made a TV show about watching TV show?" And I went, "No, it's not that." Oh wait, yeah, it is. It is literally just watching people watch TV, and then from that bit on, I was like, I just couldn't watch it because I watched it through new like rose tinted glasses, and then beyond that, I was like, this isn't for me anymore.
Just realised I've got headphones, so it'd probably be a lot clearer for you.
20 minutes in, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. But no, like, it wasn't until someone had said to me, "Oh, someone watching TV." That
Yeah.
And then at that point, I was like, "Yeah." And then, ever since then, I've not watched it. I've watched it when they've mentioned it on TV, and I'm like, "Am I now watching TV about watching TV?" And I was like, "And this is too much for me."
But I mean, I watched it. I watch absolute dross myself. Like this time, I'm watching a thing on a Prime at the minute. I don't normally like this kind of stuff, but I love my tattoos. I mean, I've already got I've got
Ink Master.
Yes.
Yes, such a good show.
But I watched the first and second series. And when they got a bit angry with each other, I was like, "Oh, that's good." But now they've kind of honed in on that a bit much. And now it's so confrontational. I'm like, "Oh, this is ridiculous now."
This is the thing I hate about tattoo shows. Now, I've got a good couple of tattoos. I love tattoos. And I used to, back in the early 2000s, I used to watch all the NY Ink, the Miami Ink, the LA Ink. And then I really used to like LA Ink, loved it. And then it wasn't until like the later seasons I was like, "Oh, they're literally just honing in on this like tattoo studio drama rather than show me a good piece of art." Like, and the like someone smashed the wall. I was like, "This is staged as fuck."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm watching an episode. I'm watching an episode now, and there was I think we're on season 3 or 4. Anyway, one of the seasons, and like one of this last was just having a breakdown. "Yeah, I can't do this," and just stormed out. And Dave Navarro, who is in no way, shape, or form able to host the show, but yet here we are.
Yeah,
he's good, and it's really embarrassing because this whole bit where he's got to do the advert, and he's got Spike and Taco Bell have made it possible for saying, "Oh." And when they do tattoos of "You're going to tattoo an awesome X-Man. Here's a trailer of the upcoming brilliant movie." I was like, "Come on, Dave, get your mustache sorted out."
It's so true.
It's so bad, isn't it?
It's so, yeah. But that's the thing as well. There's a lot of industries that create these like pseudo celebrities and turn them into like television presenters, like sticking kind of with the tattooing thing and the mention about Geordie Shore. I clicked onto some and there were these 2 presenters from Geordie Shore, and they were hosting this tattoo show. And don't get me wrong, the show was abysmal. Like, it was about people who get ranked, tattooed, whatever. But I'm sat there going, these 2 people are the hosts. What qualification? But then I started going, what qualifications do you need to have to host a TV show?
Yeah, but charisma though.
Well, yeah. And then speak.
Yeah. Charisma, and I mean, like, what kind of? I mean, Geordie Shore's really ruined the Northeast, but it's like set it back to square one because we were always considered like the Northeast was considered like knuckle draggers, racist, culture-free, fucking imbeciles. So they just got pissed all the time. We were like, "No, actually, if you come here, we've got the Baltic, we've got the Clooney, the Riverside, where Nirvana played, the Mayfair. We've got some of the most beautiful galleries in the world. We've got some of the most beautiful green parks. We're a stunning city." And then we've got City of Culture. Like, and we're trying to get that. And then all of a sudden it's like Geordie Shore starts like, "Yeah, I'm getting fingered behind a bin while I'm having a piss. Isn't that mad?" And you're like, "Oh god."
Yeah, and Bijou becomes your staple point of your city.
Yeah, and you're just like, "Oh god almighty." That's the end of the world.
I remember when I was, I think it was probably about 10 years ago. It was the first time that I'd been to Newcastle, and I went on a stag do. And the stag do that I went on, it wasn't your typical like Geordie Shore group of lads. And I remember going, and I'm not saying these were like socially inept or anything like that, but I remember we went to, I think it was Revs or something, and every person there was either a Geordie Shore kind of doppelganger, or they were trying to get into that culture because it was in the middle of the Geordie Shore thing. And I remember just sat there like observing, going, this is what this city is known for. Like, I didn't really know it beyond that, but I was like, there's got to be more to it than this. Like, there's got to be more to it. And it wasn't until, like, I then, the next morning, like, hung over as out in bed. I was like, is there because I'm the sort of person, is I have one drunken night and I'm like, I'm bored now. I don't want to do any more of that. And then I was like, there's so much more that you can do here, but this has given this place a bad name. And then you start looking at all the other shows that have done it, like, because at the same time there was like Desperate Scousewives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And these sort of things, you're like, they're giving this country a bad name. And I say this at the current situation of this country, and we're not doing ourselves any better.
And as you said, I mean, it's definitely inspired. I mean, like, inspired some of the worst tattoos I've ever seen. These lads that wear the shirts, like, I mean, they get into the gym, they look fucking ludicrous. I mean, stop at a certain point. Like, you didn't need to be that big. And they wear those tartan trousers that look like they're painted on, and no socks and loafers. I cannot get further enough away from these people. Like, I can't get far enough away. Like, if I was sending them to the moon, I'd still be like, oh, I know they're on the moon. It's doing
It's weird how one person can make that much of a fashion, literally followed by millions of people.
Yeah, of course.
People aspire to be like them, though. That's like a school. They're at school. It's like, oh, well, maybe one day I could be on like Geordie Shore, or maybe one day I could be on this show, or Love Island. Love Island wants people.
Yeah, when people will talk, but you'll go on about that, and you go like, these people, you go, oh, you're jealous. I bet you wouldn't mind the money. Of course, I wouldn't fucking mind the money. But you know what? You know what I really like? My integrity. Like, I'd love to have loads of money and not wake up going, God, I'm an absolute fucking vapid prick. Yeah. You know, with the shit and their tattoos. Oh, don't even start on the tattoos around here, the sleeves, where they've got like some sort of Roman statue and a clock and a compass. I'm like, why? Why have you got any of those things?
Yeah.
My thing is I watched, I can't remember why, but I think in one week I watched a a whole season of Tattoo Fixers. Mm-hmm. And every single person who went in, the question is, okay, so what do you want to cover it? And the answer was, I don't know, something normal, like a rose. And every single person was saying this rose. Or then it was a girl had come in, it's like, oh, something feminine, like a couple of flowers. And I was like, do they get given a card before they go in to say the exact same things? Mm-hmm. Do they come out with the exact same stuff? I mean, I'm not going to say that I've got the most unique tattoos ever. I'm that stupid guy who got a camel on his toe for Magaluf, right? I am a horrible.
That's fine. But that's it. I've got Little Rocket, that's Little Rocket, because me little one drew a picture years and years ago. Said and it said my dad is a rocket. I really like this. I've got the moon there because eventually I thought, he needs to go somewhere. So I got the moon there, but it's dreadful. It looks like a licking stick. So I'm going to have to get that done again. And then I got Jaws, which is the best film that's ever been made.
Which is from your movie, your fake movie things.
Oh yeah, my gag rails and the box office fakings. Bloody loved that. That was great. Yours, by the way, the Snatch one was fucking hilarious.
These are the video that you sent me, and I just sat there going, "What the hell?"
To be fair, I sent it to Jack with no context.
I was about to say I got no context. I got absolutely. I was there, and I remember just going, "Is he high? Is this genuinely something that we're putting out here?" And it wasn't until I got a bit of context I was like, oh, okay.
Funny. It was really funny actually. Your snatch was really funny. Anyway, let's just get that out of the way. But it was really funny because was it your missus in the front?
Yeah.
It was just her straight face, so she had a beard painted on her. Just talking about my mouth. That made me cry laughing. She was just like, it's just her just going like, yeah, well, and I was just like, can you look at yourself? And she was just like, just getting on with it. I was like, oh, that was wonderful. It was so good. It was so good.
Happy to be involved though. She was like, well, can I not do one with you? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a different one.
There were some brilliant ones, absolutely brilliant. My favourite one I did Mikes one, where my Kess one. I loved that one, but my favourite one, which not a lot of people got, I felt it was the ingenuity that some people got, like you with the fat suit. That was brilliant. But the ingenuity some people had, I filled a rubber glove, because it was like, obviously everyone's got rubber gloves. So I filled a rubber glove with beetroot juice, and I did RoboCop, where my hand was down, and then he was going and he shot my hand, and I popped the glove, and it went like that, and I was just like, That looked amazing.
That
But there's some
sounds
brilliant ones.
sick.
Oh, there's some great ones. I think they're all up on my Facebook still. I think.
I'll have to drop a link in there because I've seen obviously I saw a couple and I saw the one that Nick sent over, but I've not actually been. It's in the majority, and I imagine they're quite funny.
But a lot of people sent some in. And I was just like, yeah, I'll use them. Oh. Comedians, I'll tell you what, comedians. Some of them have got absolutely no idea how to be funny. It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Oh, we you know what? We could probably speak for an hour and a half and not have this on record, and we could probably agree and shoot some names about.
Yeah.
And believe me, with previous guests, we have.
I mean, I think you just got to have fun when you do stuff like that, and then the funny will come. If you're trying too hard, then
exactly. That's my theory on commentating about people. Oh, I don't know, you do it. If you talk for long enough, something funny will happen. That's why if you watch a commentator, I've seen some commenters who are just like some of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, because they'll talk and they'll go like, "Oh, what's your name?" Simon. They go, "Oh, Simon." Anyway, and they're just launching the material. I'm like, you can't just ask someone the name and then go, "Oh." It doesn't work like that. And I've always said, because there's a mate of mine called Louise Young. Have you ever met her?
Louise Young, I think she's absolutely hilarious.
She is one of the best new acts I've ever seen. She's magnificent. She's gonna fly. She's brilliant. She was over there to see the new dog, and we went for a walk, and I was talking to her, and she's another one. Natural. The Northeast has got a brilliant, naturally funny, thing. We've got Lee Kyle, we've got Gavin Webster, Nick Lamantilios, Anya Atkinson, Liam Robertson, Louise Young, obviously. Who else is over here? We've got some really good Andy Fury's over here. I don't know. Carl Hutchison, he's a good lad. We've got a really good farm of lads. And Sammy Dobson. Sammy Dobson, she's amazing.
Yeah. I saw Sammy Dobson and Louise and Carl when they did the stand when obviously during lockdown. It literally I didn't even know that you guys were doing like the streaming from the stand. I literally logged on Facebook and I saw it and I was like, well, this is the next 2 hours of my life done.
Yeah,
it's absolutely brilliant.
I like the way she was on about a fanny at the time, and then she just looked at the guy behind the camera and she went, "Am I allowed to get it out?" No, I'm not allowed.
Oh, Sammy,
just believe.
I've known Sammy long enough to know that she would have done that if she'd been alive. She's class. She's mint, Sammy. She's a probably high-end comic. She's been an actress in quite a few things. She was in Daniel Blake. She was in she was one of the main characters in Bite of Growth. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I watched The Gentleman, and one of the main lads, and that was from Bite of Grove as well. I mean, it was a dreadful film, but it was. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. I've seen clips on
honestly, it's so bad. It's like he's a parody of himself now. The characters, he's just like. It's like he's doing an impression of the original Guy Ritchie films. And to be honest, I watched the Guy Ritchie films back, and I watched Snatch, and I watched Lock, Stock, and the dialogue is fucking dreadful. And the acting, it's like the acting are just reading it off a piece of paper. But by the end of it, it's a good, coherent film, and it's good. And you go, all right, fair enough.
That was the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast with Jack Vincent and Nick Crooks, recording from their own home and heavily fucking edited. Follow them at I am Jack the and at Nick Crooks Comedy. Why don't ya? #NiceGuys.